Hello again, and now we're going to move the present simple away from ducks and swans and other waterfowl to a more practical, like Rome-related use. I just looked up some websites, and some of them are direct, some of them I copied just bits of. But the thing is, you can of course use other tenses as well, but I think the present simple is a very clear, very concise way of explaining, defining, giving a definition. For example, as you see here, what is emotional abuse? So it says it occurs or it includes when someone calls you names, when a person keeps shouting at you. Emotional abuse occurs when a person puts you down, when somebody ignores you or leaves you out of things, like when someone doesn't invite you or doesn't share information with you. Is when someone intentionally or repeatedly says or does things that make you feel bad about yourself. Emotional abuse occurs and happens when someone intentionally makes you feel like you don't belong, makes you take responsibility for things you shouldn't have to do. When someone tries to control you or put pressure on you to do things you're not ready to or don't want to. When someone treats you differently, okay, this is meant for teenagers more, but from your brothers and sisters or from your co-workers as well. Emotional abuse also occurs when someone puts you in a dangerous situation, when someone is aggressive and violent to other people in your family and you keep seeing it. And emotional abuse also occurs when someone stops you from having friends. Then sexual assault also, you see there's a lot of present simple. Sexual assault happened when someone touches another person in a sexual manner, when someone makes another person take part in sexual activity without that person's consent. This can include, for a better present simple, this would be this includes, but is not limited to rape, kissing, sexual touching, and so forth. And you see sexual assault is an act in which one intentionally sexually touches another person or coerces or physically forces a person to engage in a sexual act against their will. It is a form of sexual violence that includes but is not limited to child sexual abuse, groping, rape, which is forced sexual penetration no matter how slight, drug-facilitated sexual assault, and the torture of the person in a sexual manner. Sexual assault takes many forms and includes attacks such as rape or attempted rape and so forth. Usually a sexual assault occurs when someone touches any part of another person's body in a sexual way. And then we have emotional abuse. Again, you see there is a lot of present simple, so some examples of emotional abuse are when someone falsely accuses you of cheating, when the other person constantly, or like another signal word could be frequently, checks on you, or when someone, so he, she, it, attempts to control your behavior. It is emotional abuse when a person constantly argues or they argue or oppose you, when they criticize you regularly or when someone criticizes you regularly, when someone engages or they engage in gaslighting, so you doubt your own reality, when a person isolates you from your family or friends, when someone calls you names. This is all connected to they, so it's they call, but I'm using the third person singular just to repeat it a little more. So when someone refuses to participate in the relationship, that was a nice Freudian slip right there. When someone shames or blames you for various issues, when someone gives you the silent treatment, when they trivialize your concerns and feelings, or when they withhold affection and attention as a form of control. And you can see that you can use this present simple for like a more broad spectrum of definitions, like emotional abuse in general, or you can also do a more narrow explanation, like if we look, I'm just trying to get this closer, like definition of stonewalling. So this is just one form of emotional abuse, is again, the definition of stonewalling is when one person refuses to communicate with another, when another person withdraws from a conversation, when that person creates distance between the two people, and this is sometimes referred to as the silent treatment. And stonewalling can also include behaviors, or usually or often includes, that would be present simple, such as dismissing and belittling another person or accusing them of overreacting to stonewalling treatment. And I think I had one more, again, so emotional abuse. It is important to note this and that. If you are or a loved one is a victim of emotional abuse, it is important to seek help, and there is hope for a better future. And then some signs of emotional abuse. So you see stonewalling, it says not all emotional abuse is verbal. Not all emotional abuse involves shouting. Stonewalling is cutting off all communication. Emotional withholding happens, so it happens when love and affection are withheld in order to communicate anger. Emotional withholding creates a great deal of anxiety in the victim because it plays into our fears of rejection, abandonment, and worthiness of love. Twisting occurs when the victim confronts the abuser deflects attention, blah, 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 and then they demand, or the abuser demands, an apology to avoid taking responsibility for their actions. I don't think there's any more. So this was just some examples that I took from articles, and these are maybe some examples, or at least close near examples that you might use in Rome. So if you're going to give definitions of psychotherapeutical concept, you can use present simple to keep it simple. And I hope that clarifies the practical uses as well, because like I said, when the Dux video came up, I don't like just do theory. I like to, give some proper practical examples. And now moving on to other tenses as well. Thank you for your attention, and wishing you a great rest of whatever part of the day you are at right now.